What is the weirdest thing society just accepts as normal? Best of Reddit. Daily new uploads. Subscribe and like for more. Just do it. Celebrity stalking worship. If people paid that much attention to a non-celebrity, they'd be in jail. ETA, I'm not downplaying the lack of response from her in the cases of stalking. I know. I should have said if people paid that much attention to a non-celebrity, other people would think they should be in jail. You say my ex followed me down the street and through the store taking pictures of me, and everyone reasonable is gonna say that's awful, but people regularly seek out pics of celebrities gotten in that way, etc. I know. My ex broke into my house multiple times and the cops basically just said, "Hey." When my ex broke into my apartment at 2 AM and tried to strangle me, the police told me I should move and not tell him where I lived. They basically said a restraining order was useless and I had to disrupt my life to make myself safer. Yee. Don't forget to leave your comment. They're right. They can arrest him and get a restraining order, but that only helps after he breaks in next time. It's not a magical juice that will prevent him from breaking laws he clearly doesn't care about. Buy a gun and shoot him next time. Nobody gives a shit about you but yourself. Also, even if some cops did, they won't get there before he's done with you. Buy a shotgun, load it with birdshot, and put a sticker on your door that says homeowner is armed. Also file an order of protection from your local municipal court to cover your ass. It's insane to me how people rely on cops when the cops literally only exist to protect rich people's stuff. You may be overestimating how seriously stalking is taken by law enforcement. I've always found family vloggers' family channels weird. Why are people invested in a stranger's family? I recently found a crafting couple on YouTube that are super fucking adorable. My current life is structured in such a way that I don't get a lot of time or opportunity to have social gatherings, and when I do, it's only family. Stay-at-home dad checking in. After watching one of their videos, I get a feeling similar to what it feels like having a dinner party with friends. It was also a weird thing for me because I really wondered why do I like this so much, and I couldn't come up with a convincing answer. But I keep watching their videos and I enjoy every one. So there's that. Honestly, I think that's how sitcoms work too. They're not particularly funny or clever or challenging, but they run for a long time. They're regular and predictable, and after a while it becomes like hanging out with the gang in the living room. Just pretend that you're the quiet one. I never understood how something like Friends was successful until I was living by myself in the middle of the woods for a couple years and I ended up binging Deep Space Nine. I love Star Trek and I love that show, but it's a 90s show, it's episodic and it's not all great. But I grew to love the characters, and being a bit lonely and isolated, I was actually kinda bummed when I got to the last episode and knew I wasn't going to be hanging out with them after my shift anymore. Black Friday and how far people will go just to get a discounted product. Amazon Black Friday, aka discount, and hopefully shift all this old shit in the warehouse to make space for new stuff which we will sell at full price for Christmas. The day after professing how thankful they are for what they have. The complex and mostly arbitrary societal rules governing which foods it's acceptable to eat with your hands and which you must use a utensil for. TBH, most food rules are ridiculous. I like to have a big nutritious breakfast, so that would often be something like leftover pasta and an omelette, or egg fried rice with peas. People would give me shit for it. That's not breakfast. Normal people eat toast or cereal, motherfuckers. I'm just eating food I enjoy. IKR, I don't get the whole this is a breakfast food and this is dinner food, like no. Let me have my fucking Tottenus pizza rolls for breakfast, damn. Vloggers. Everyone just acts like it's so great and normal to watch other people do mundane things, but admittedly it's pretty strange. It's the perfect example of how TV and social media have changed our way of life. People satisfy their need for companionship by watching others. I think a parallel to this situation is how we enjoy horror movies and thrill rides, most likely to satisfy our desire for fear and thrill that used to come from hunting and surviving as primitive humans. Maybe one day we will hardly interact in person at all. And to be honest, most suck. Reality TV shows are even worse. Emo. People like watching a bunch of people being literally locked up for months, years even. No joke. The worst thing is people that can go genuinely crazy and it's still watched purely out of entertainment. That it's 2019 and dryer hoses are still flimsy pieces of shit that never fit and can be torn by a toddler. Do we not have the technology to simply attach an aluminum hose to an open hole with ease? Must I use that primitive circle clamp and a screwdriver in a seemingly endless battle that I'll lose every time? As a former appliance repair technician and moderator of our Appliance Therapy, I feel your pain. Imagine dealing with 3 or 4 a day. That was my life for a while. Asking how someone is as a greeting but not actually caring about the answer, acting weird when the answer is anything but fine. How about we either just give up the charade and don't ask, or IDK, actually start giving a shit about people besides ourselves? I'm from the US, and when my family visited England, people would say, "Are you okay?" all the time, meaning like, "Hey, how's it going?" It made my mom feel really self-conscious. Haha. In Korea they say, "Have you had lunch?" Yay. 6 hours staring at textbooks, then going home and forgetting everything anyway. You spend 12 years in an education system, then forced to choose a career or degree, all of which you've had no real exposure to, so you just have to hope you enjoy it. IDK if this is accepted as normal, but more and more we see people being praised for such things as donating your personal vacation or sick time towards employees who have cancer or a dying child and have no more time allotted. Or how strangers are buying people cars after someone walked to work for 2 straight years, instead of thinking how terrible and tragic it is that someone literally couldn't afford a car with their job, or that companies do not always factor in situations that require more time off than normal. Enjoying the video? Leave a comment below. 3. That pretty much every government that we have ever had is really just an oligarchy. Edit. Thanks for the gold. Or that there are laws to prevent monopolies on markets and yet allow monopolies to exist, fighting over and paying ridiculous amount of money for exclusive name brands and products. Daylight savings time. Following celebrities' lives and their personal life. I'm guilty of this, but holy shit, this is so weird. Putting a tree in your house for Christmas. Putting a house in your tree, as well. Ear piercings on babies. To snowball off of that, getting your kids' ears pierced by the manager of whatever store in the mall that does ear piercings instead of in a tattoo shop with someone who's properly trained and sanitary. Not even the manager. When I was 19 I worked at an ear piercing kiosk and we were trained with a 5-minute video. 5 minutes of the manager explaining it, and a cardboard ear to practice once on. Good to go. Cardboard ear. Yes, the material that perfectly mimics a human ear. It's done to girls more than boys so they wouldn't look like boys, because God forbid someone mistakes your toddler's gender or not conclude it on name or clothes alone. Also, girl have to wear earrings, I guess. Earlobes aren't even fully developed at that point, so the piercing is quickly off center and done again. It's fucking cruel. I would refuse every child under 10 when I was a pisser for the simple reason of they don't need it. If they want it they can decide it for themselves later. And if you're going to get it done, don't go to your local chemist drugstore and have Sally the manager jam a dirty piercing gun into your kid's ear. They're dangerous and unsanitary. Spend a few dollars more for a trained professional to do it with disposable needles. It comes out nicer and is less trauma on the ear, leaving very little chance for something to go wrong like trauma growth or cotton earring. Plastic lawn grass and to a lesser extent fake plastic plants. It is mind-blowing to me that in a world where the natural environment is in peril, and insect species etc. are disappearing at an alarming rate, people are laying giant swathes of plastic over their front and backyards and snuffing out the chance for actual living things to thrive there. We're talking about the plastic pollution posed by water bottles, coffee cups, straws etc. as a society, and yet I have never heard anybody say anything about fake grass. Crazy. Locking the doors in your house but being okay with multiple entryways being protected by a thin piece of fragile glass. Edit. Really appreciate all the comments and points of view. I used the word protected because I meant personal safety. In most basic terms, you and your family are separated by a window from the outside world and all the possibilities. No adding bars, security film, etc. Just a plain window. Alcohol. It causes more deaths than all other drugs combined, yet everybody just accepts it, and even jokes about it. People having to declare bankruptcy because they became seriously ill and couldn't pay their high medical bills. In the US, I declare bankruptcy. Circumcision. If it had never been a thing, and you tried to start it now, you'll be crucified. I like my circumcised penis. It looks like a German soldier. Grown-ass people calling infants, toddlers, kids sexy. It's sickening. Epstein didn't kill himself, we all know it, but I don't think we're outraged enough. It's almost as if we feel there's nothing we can do about it or nothing will be done about it, and that's normal. Someone out there has the capability to infiltrate a US federal facility, assassinate someone under strict surveillance, and get away cleanly. What's fucked is that the American government doesn't seem perturbed at all. That it's only okay to take candy from strangers one day a year. Property tax. Everything else you buy, everything else you earn, you just pay tax then and there and it's done. Own land, you pay tax on its value every year. Imagine if you had to do that for your TV, your car, your computer, your phone, your waifu pillow collection. If you are enjoying the video, subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of my new videos. In Virginia you have to pay personal property tax on your car every year. The bulk of property tax goes to pay for schools, police, fire departments, roads, public parks, etc. Those are all kind of important things that exist way after you made the initial purchase, which is why there is a revolving tax. Almost all of that money collected, in some states all, remains in your immediate community. Dude, humanity is actually so weird, we're just used to the weird and sometimes cute shit we do. And X200B. Human beings have nests that we decorate with pillows and blankets to sleep in. Some humans choose to wear special clothes just for sleeping. Some humans decorate themselves to appeal to others, others simply to feel good. Some humans offer their partner a ring with a precious stone fetched from deep in the earth to ask to be together forever. Some humans learn how to mimic animal sounds, percussion, or even other human beings' voices. There are special ritual robes specifically for graduation. There's, usually, a special ritual outfit specifically for weddings. And X200B, we do some weird shit, and it's actually pretty cute. Drug and alcohol culture. This, I don't drink and you would not believe the shit I catch for it. Like, why do I have to consume alcohol? Like, I'm not saying you don't have to have at it, IDC, I'm just not going to. It's literally not that big of a deal. The obsession over products like shoes, sneakerheads, chicken, Popeyes, jerseys, sports teams, like any of them, etc. Homelessness, bank fees. The bank is basically charging you for spending your own money. The difference between how pets versus livestock are treated. This isn't as much of a thing in English, but numerous languages use gendered nouns, and that seems absolutely insane to me. Working long hours so you can get a few scraps of paper each month which you use to sustain yourself. Edit. Typo. Tipping 15-20% plus to someone that walks a few feet to bring you your food and tipping 0% when you order food at the counter. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like and hit the bell for more videos. Comment your views.